Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to share a video all about language arts, how I teach language arts to my kids, what curriculum I use. My name is Julie. I am, of course, a homeschooling mom of 5. So my oldest is in 8th grade. We've been homeschooling him ever since kindergarten, and my youngest is currently in kindergarten. Actually, I say my oldest is in 8th grade. That's true, but I am really feeling like high school is just around the corner for him. And so I'm just going to talk about the different curriculums we use. I will also add an overlay of a flip through so you can just get a better look into each of the curriculums that we talk about. So the first curriculum I'm going to show you is Handwriting Without Tears, and this is what we use for handwriting. We've been using this since the beginning. Let me show you first my youngest son's book. This is Letters and Numbers for Me, so this is the kindergarten level. I really enjoy this curriculum. We have it for my younger kids, so it goes from kindergarten level, or really junior kindergarten level, all the way to about a grade 4 to 5 level. I wish it went farther than that because this is definitely my favorite handwriting curriculum. It goes from just beginning learning how to form the uppercase letters and then the lowercase letters, and then my older ones are doing the cursive books right now. For these books, I love that they start out with the landscape orientation. It opens up nice and big pages, big spaces for them to be writing out their letters. I love that there's just a good explanation for letter formation, like they have their little helpful hints, and I'm always vocalizing these to my kids too. All their letters that start with, they call it a magic C. So you start with the magic C and then you go up and make a D, or you go up and make an A, or you go down and make a G. There's all these letters that start with the magic C. And so I'm often coaching my kids through that. Okay, start when you form an O, start with your magic C. Little tips like that throughout the books that have really helped it click in my kids' minds how to form their letters. We also love that there are pictures on each page, especially for the lower levels, that they can be writing their letters, but then also coloring pictures. So just a fun little addition. As my kids finish up all of the Handwriting Without Tears levels, then we go on to the Good and the Beautiful handwriting. So this is just, we've been using this just in the last couple years, but I find that it's a good next step. So my older 2 kids that are in grades 6 and 8 are currently doing the Good and the Beautiful handwriting books. These are done very well. I like how some of the pages will have a little art at the bottom. So it will show a picture and it will either say, draw something to complete this picture, or copy the step-by-step on how to draw a fish or how to draw a house. So that's been what we've used for handwriting for after they're finished with Handwriting Without Tears. Now for our actual language arts curriculum, that includes all of the aspects of language arts. So vocabulary and spelling, grammar, editing, and this curriculum even includes geography and art. We started using the Good and the Beautiful, I think this is probably our 3rd year, and we really enjoy this curriculum. I laugh because not all of my kids enjoy language arts, and this curriculum hasn't made my kids who don't enjoy writing, I wouldn't say it makes them enjoy language arts, but I love what I see in these books, and it's done a great job teaching them. And so this one is, okay, so I have a few levels here. I didn't bring up all of my kids' books, but I did bring up, we have a level 4 right now. That is for my 5th grader. My 3rd grader is doing level 2, and then Wesley, my kindergartner, is doing the kindergarten level. I will say, as you can see by, how those book levels I just showed you, each of my kids are at least a level I don't even want to say behind, but they're about a level underneath what grade they're doing in school. And I just think that from what I can see with this curriculum, I feel like that's an adequate level for my kids. And so my older ones, same thing, they're a level or two behind what grade they're in. And it doesn't really matter. As you go from one book to the next, you'll see that how much it moves up isn't a ton. And I just place a lot of importance in my kids actually reading. They do a lot of creative writing. I'll have them do like free writes. But as far as doing diagramming and just all the grammar especially, I just feel like there's no need to push it early. They will grasp it so much better if they have a lot of reading behind them as well. I also will say, as a Canadian, I have heard from different homeschool talks from people who know what is expected here in Canada. Our like grammar expectations are quite a bit lower than in the US. So if my kids were going to like not secondary school, if they were going to university or college in the States, they might find that they need a little catch up to get to the qualifications there. But I know that ours are not as intense here in Canada. And so I wouldn't say that's part of the reason I don't push it, but it is interesting to note that. So I should talk a little bit about how we do all of this. So the main curriculum we use is Gather Round. We do unit studies. There's actually some writing and stuff in there as well. So once in a while, my kids are doing writing or language arts pages in our unit study. I often will skip those just because we do have a separate language arts curriculum. And you know, I'm just kind of gonna start rambling here because you always, as the homeschooling parent, you get to choose how this looks in your homeschool. And so I'm not sharing this saying this is what you should do, because this explanation is honestly probably a little bit confusing, but I just want to share with you how we do it, how we've done it over the last number of years. So what we do currently is we do every other day is handwriting and every other day is language arts. So they're not doing language arts daily, which is partly also why it takes them a little bit longer to get through each level. So every other day, language arts, every other day, handwriting, and we just kind of cycle through those. But I should show you a little flip through. So we'll start with my youngest, Wesley. Here is his language arts book. We just started this actually about partway through the year. We had just been focusing on handwriting through the beginning of the year, and then I thought, let's get into doing some language arts. And so because he's already done, he's learned so much with reading and writing already at the beginning of the year. We're doing about 3 or 4 lessons in this book every day right now. He is just motoring through it. He is loving this. There is a lot of activities like cutting and pasting, which is right up his alley. He really enjoys. Funny enough, if there's a page that he's supposed to color, he's like, do I have to color? But if it's cutting and pasting, he absolutely loves that. So this kindergarten level has been really fun. Just all the different activities that I have seen before in other books. Drawing lines from short sentences to a picture on the opposite side of the page that matches that little sentence. So that's been a really fun level. And then the next level I'll do a flip through here of for you is level 2. Again, there's a bit of cutting and pasting. I love the little art pages and geography pages. Just my kids are learning so much. Oh, I also will say there is an app where some of the pages will say, go check the app and watch this 3-minute video as someone is reading a story. And so my child will just sit and study the painting while the person on the screen is telling a story. There's just fun little added activities, I guess, through those younger levels especially. And then of course, as you get to the higher levels, you're doing a lot more grammar practice and spelling work. You're still doing more art, like more painting and pastels, watercolor, and more editing, where you're editing punctuation and capitalization, extra spacing, that kind of stuff. So I could go on about this language arts curriculum because I feel like there's just there's just so much. There's a lot in there. Now, I also should include that you can buy the language arts curriculum and it'll come with like readers and like maybe another geography book or something. I just get the free PDFs online. I print those up myself and I don't get the readers. So there are pages in these books that will say, answer these questions about this reader. And I actually do have the file. I could get my kids to read it on the computer or print it up. I just haven't. We kind of do our own separate reading on the side, not what they suggest to go along with the language arts curriculum. My goodness, I just feel like this is a lot of information right now. I'm just shoving all at you. Another curriculum we really like is Explode the Code. So my third grader right now is using the Explode the Code curriculum. We have used this curriculum in the past, quite a few years ago, and then we had taken a break, and just finally this year I decided that my third grader needed to get back into it. It's one that I've always really liked. It's really basic. It's almost like busy work. I mean, it's not just meaningless busy work. It is meaningful, meaningful work. It's a great, I should have said, it's a great like spelling and phonics curriculum. So it's helping to reinforce spelling rules, phonics, and it's not hard. Like my daughter will go through this. It's not hard. She can just kind of motor through getting a page done, but it's just a lot of repetition, understanding the sounds, understanding the spelling formation of different words. And it's just a lot of repeating in a fun way that I think has really, really helped my daughter know how to spell so much better. So I would say for her work, I know I said we do like handwriting every other day, language arts every other day. Zara's really been doing Explode the Code and handwriting and language arts, kind of just doing every other day she does language arts, and every other day it's either writing or it's Explode the Code. I kind of let her do either one, and we're just about at the end of the school year, you know, we're getting close, and she's basically right at the end of her handwriting and her Explode the Code. So that worked well. The language arts books are much, much bigger books. And the last piece of curriculum I'm going to show you is a spelling curriculum. This is called Spelling Power. It's a very traditional spelling curriculum with spelling lists. This is not a new curriculum. It's a very old curriculum. I don't know how old, but I do know that through my years of being homeschooled, I use this curriculum. So it's been around for a good while. Not all of my kids use this. Actually, only my oldest uses it right now. We've had this curriculum for quite a few years. And again, my oldest two used it a few years back. And then we just kind of took a break and did something else. But my oldest right now, for one, I can tell that he needs extra work on spelling. He actually is the one who said, Mom, can we do more spelling? I really want to improve my spelling. And even though there's spelling in his language arts, I said, for sure, we can do this. So back to, oh my goodness, back to my every other day language arts, every other day handwriting. So my 4 younger kids do that. My oldest, like I said, he's in 8th grade. I want him to be really focusing more on his writing, his language arts. We're getting into high school and he's going to be writing essays and just learning a lot more about writing. And so for him, he actually does language arts every day. And then with it, he does handwriting every other day and spelling power every other day. But his language arts is every day. Did that all make sense? Okay, so what we do, I actually have a video I filmed quite a few years ago. Like it was probably when my oldest kids were like grade 3 and grade 2 or something. I filmed a video showing how we use spelling power, and we still use it, I would say, in a very similar way. So what you want to do first is get your kids a placement test to see about what level they're at in this book. And then you can just go through. What I do is I just keep giving words. So I'll just say, okay, spell this word, spell this word. And I go until I've done about 15 words in a list. Then I'll check his work. You know, if he's sitting beside me, maybe I'll just look over his shoulder, see how he's doing. And once he gets to, I would say 6 or 7 words wrong, then I'll stop there. I actually just pencil in the book, like this is where we ended. And those 6 or 7 words will be his spelling list for the week. Those will be his words for the week. And then at the end of the week, we do a spelling test. And so I will just recite those words, have him write them down on a sheet of paper, and then I check them. So this book, this is like a textbook. Any of his work is just done in a notebook, a specified notebook I've bought for him for spelling. But I really like it. Like I said, it's nothing fancy or special. It's just spelling lists, but it's been a good curriculum for us. And so that is, in a nutshell, a big nutshell, because I felt like that was a lot of information. That is how we do language arts in our homeschool. We of course have our reading, which is part of language arts as well. But I've done videos before talking about what my kids do for independent reading and read alouds and all that. So that is language arts. I thought it would be fun to share a little bit more in depth how we homeschool the different subjects. I'd like to share a video next on how I teach math. So subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content. I do post a big mixed bag variety of mom life stuff. I am filming day in the lives. Some of those are very homeschool focused. I'm filming grocery hauls and food videos, meal ideas. There's a lot you'll find here on my channel, and homeschooling is just a part of it, but I'd love for you to subscribe and join here. And thank you for watching if you made it to the end of this video. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.